video. Let's get to see Young Thug. Y'all, Young Thug was free. So yesterday, this is how I got the news. Somebody wrote in one of my in my video last night, and they just put in the comments like Young Thug free. I said, who said that? Who said that? How? Like, where you get that from? Girl, I go to Google. Google not telling me shit. Google not saying nothing. They're still saying what we had already knew about him pleading guilty. And they were still deliberating, or at least the judge was still trying to figure out what the sentencing was going to be because they couldn't come to agreeable terms. Okay, they started out with some type of terms that I guess they negotiated at some point, and Brian was like, "All right, bet, cool, we'll do that." But then, or at least I guess the state was like, "We'll do that," and then next thing you know, it changed. So they couldn't agree on what the sentencing was going to be for him. I believe the state wanted him to do 25 years in prison and then 20 years probation. Or was it the reverse? Either way, it was a long periodical time. Okay. So they said they was gonna let the judge do it. Baby, let me tell y'all something. That judge, they got his ass kicked off that case. I know he was sick. I'm talking about sick. If they would have had the first lady, like the last lady to show up, but if they would have had her at the beginning of this trial, some part of me feels like this trial would not have lasted no damn 2 years. For y'all to say y'all have all of those witnesses, baby, we have to draw the line at some point. At some point, we have to draw the line. And a little bit of me feels like y'all kind of wasted the people money just a little bit. Only for him to turn around and plead guilty. Like, I thought we was doing this in front of a jury. I thought the jury was going to make a decision. But I guess if he was starting off saying he wasn't guilty and then flipped it, I guess they didn't waste time, because if he's saying he's not guilty, then we need to have a trial or whatever the case is. But listen, I can't. Okay. But I know that man was sick. He got his ass kicked off that bench. Let me tell you something. If it was up to him, I'm sure he would have honored what the state wanted. Hell, I felt like he was in cahoots with the state anyway. You're supposed to be a piece of non-bias. Okay? Child, I ain't watched the whole case. I was in and out. I would see clips here and there or whatever the case is, child. But that state lady, she didn't seem to. I don't think I liked her too much. The state lady. All right, they was showing different clips, making it seem like she was over there like slick, telling the witnesses what to say. It was something sketchy about her. I'm not gonna hold you. But anywho, shout out to Brian Steele. I do believe that's his name, the guy that represented Young Thug. I feel conflicted. Let me say that. I'm gonna say that, and I'll get back to why I feel conflicted. Shout out to him because that motherfucker did his job. When people are paying you attorneys for a lot of money, paying you guys a lot of money for their cases, this is what they mean when they say they want an attorney. Okay? This is what they mean when they say talk to my lawyer. That means you're supposed to go the extra mile. You're supposed to go the distance. Some of these people really be in it and just be collecting folks' money. They don't be doing. I feel like not a lot, but I feel like there are quite a bit of attorneys that work like public defenders a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Take the money, don't really be up to date on the case or whatever. Every time they going in the courtroom, they trying to push your stuff back or whatever. So I don't like that. If people paying you anything more than $1,000, you need to do your job. Really, if they pay you anything, not just more than $1,000, you need to do your job. But people ain't got money like that to just be giving it away to y'all. So we're gonna need y'all to do y'all job, and we're gonna need you to do it the Brian Steele way. Okay, so much so that he got this nigga up off the bench. Do you hear me? You gonna sit up here and try and hold this man in contempt? Well, he got you in a better one. Okay. That man said, I'll do jail. It's not a problem for me. I just want to be in there with my client so we can continue to work on this case. All right. And your unethical behavior led to you getting put off the bench. I love that for you. I really do. Not even gonna hold you. Love that for you. So they got this new lady. But the reason I say that I am a bit conflicted is because I'm like, in a sense, it's like good for you. You got an attorney that did their damn job and got you off. In a sense, like you're still not off, but you free. You ain't behind bars. You ain't gonna be locked behind bars for so many years and time served. 5 years time served when you didn't even spend 5 years in there to begin with. Good for you. But at the same time, you said you're guilty. So if you're guilty, that means that you are responsible for some things. That includes people being dead. I don't know if I should be happy for that. Okay. Now, granted, I haven't really been in tune with Young Thug a whole lot. So for me, I feel like it's either way. Like, I don't care if he go to jail. Oops. If he don't, congrats. Like, right. But now that it's finally happened and he pled guilty and he kind of got off a little bit, um, I was like conflicted out, like good for you, but at the same time, did you really do that stuff? So if you did that, like that's kind of messed up, sir. Like, should you be out here? Right? But yeah, either way, he's out. I say, let me tell y'all something. You might well go ahead and propose to Mariah the scientist, the way she's been out here and been supporting you. Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. The way she's been out here supporting you, going hard for you, you might well go ahead and get down on that knee and propose to that girl or whatever. All right. That's what it is. That's the piece of my thinking here. Let me see what they sentenced him to though. Oh, you know what else was interesting as I'm looking up trying to find what they sentenced him with? Not sentence, but what he can and cannot do, what they approve for him to do or not do. I thought it was interesting that, when it came down to the Gunna situation and Gunna ended up getting out, people tried to call him a snitch and all of that, saying all kind of stuff about him. But he over here asking the judge if he could continue to work with the boy. You know what I'm saying? He trying to still work with the man, and y'all was over there trying to cause and create some type of division between them. Now, see, I ain't gonna hold you because some part of me was over there thinking like, girl, is you trying to work close to that man so you can clap that man or something like that? You trying to get that man? You trying to get him? Is that what you doing? But I'm like, maybe not, because if you were, then sir, okay, then that would result in, you going back to prison because you will be in violation. Hell, you on probation for 15 years. Okay. I can't even find it. But he's on probation for he got 5 years time served, probation for 15 years, and if he were to violate that on the back end, I believe there's about 20 years of probation that he would have to do. If he were to, like, guaranteed, he would, I'm sorry, not probation, but I think it's 20 years he'll have to do in prison should he violate the 15-year probation. But my question is this: if you put in the documents that he get 15 years, what's his bid date? Is the 15 years his bid date, or is it earlier than that? And bid date, from my understanding, is like a behavior incentive date that they have in Georgia. So I'm wondering, can he potentially get off earlier than those 15 years potentially? And then I also heard that even though a person is sentenced to, and I heard this because I was watching a video with a probation officer saying this. She said a lot of people don't know that they actually can get off probation much sooner than what's listed. It also, of course, depends on the judge. But if they give you certain parameters and things that you have to do and you go ahead and take care of it, they could potentially, say, okay, you've been doing good, you've been flying right, we're gonna go ahead and, revoke this or whatever the case is. So like if he has any fines he got to pay, any classes or something he has to do, if it's any community service or speaking engagements or whatever it is, if they give him also many hours or a number of things he has to do, if he does that in a reasonable time, he could potentially. So that's why I was like, so is it a hard 15, or does he get like a behavior incentive date, or what's the case? So just wondering about that. That means that it is given a piece of a setup, but you're the one that wanted to be free. And you were the one that is agreeing your guilt to such extreme charges. We can lock you the hell up. So either you're going to stay locked up or you're going to accept the 15. Since you want to be out, you want to be free, you want to continue to work, make money for your family, whatever the case is, then you're going to have to abide by these. You're going to have to fly right. I ain't got no problem locking your ass back up. But let me tell y'all, I think Brian Steele and that judge knew each other. I said he must have donated some cute ass coins to that campaign or something. Y'all must go way, way back. Back, forth and forth. How back do y'all go? Because that black man wouldn't have gave your ass that, baby. You was going to be in jail that night. As you have always been. Okay? But Brian Steele has definitely been doing his job. But I'm so disappointed that I cannot find. Let me see if I saved it though. Because he's banned from, y'all. This was so fucking stupid. How y'all gonna ban the damn boy from Metro Atlanta? and then turn around and say that he can only go to Metro Atlanta to do like certain things. I'm like, so is he banned or is he not banned from Metro? Which one is it? So is he or is he not banned? So it's like you can't go into Metro Atlanta at all, which is also interesting because I'm like, Metro, what? When you say Metro Atlanta, this is how I be looking at Atlanta to me, Metro Atlanta. I be thinking about, let me not even say it. We just gonna stick with the Metro Atlanta. Okay. Is this it? This is not it. This is not it. But anywho, how y'all gonna say he can't go there, but he only can go there when he's, I feel, pretty much making profit for y'all, is what it sounds like to me. But whatever he do, he gonna make profit for y'all because he lives here. And once he starts working, y'all gonna be hitting him up on them taxes any damn way. Okay, so it's not just me, Mrs. ATL and Stan. It's not just me. Metro Atlanta is huge. Exactly. Okay. So I'm over. We see each other because I'm like, that is a huge body of land. A huge body of land for y'all to tell this man that he can't go to. So I am confusion just a little bit. Do y'all hear yourselves? So it was a little confusing. And that's true too, El Michelle. People's definition of Metro Atlanta is completely different. That's true. I think everybody has different ones, especially people that were raised here. And then you got people like me that just happened to come here. Okay. But yeah, I want to listen to his dad real quick because I didn't check this out. I didn't listen to this. Let me see what he's saying.
And do you live here in Metro Atlanta?
Yes, I do.
So how does it feel to hear that he's not allowed to be in Metro Atlanta?
I'm totally against that because this is where he's from, and to have a district attorney take that away from him that isn't a resident from here. She's from another state, and to see her take a man away from where he's from to have to go live somewhere else, that's offensive to me. I'm really offended by it.
And do you live here in Metro Atlanta?
Yes, I do.
I do understand where the dad is coming from. And I'm sure that Brian Steele can potentially try to appeal that or something, maybe at the top of the year, seeing that it could be difficult for him to work or something like that. To remain in good standing for his probation, and maybe a lot of the work he does is in Metro Atlanta. I think that he could potentially come back to the courts and they may change that possibly in the next few months. Because I'm sure a part of the stipulations is for him to maintain a job. I think that's always a part of it. Right. And maybe he does a lot of business in that area. And then if he's continuing to do work, it may bring the city so much money. So, or the area, Metro Atlanta, okay, all of that, a lot of money. So maybe they may change their mind on that just a bit. But I also kind of feel, and see, this is why I'm so mixed on it, because I understand where he's coming from, but it's kind of like your son took that away from himself when he involved himself in certain activities. These are the consequences. This is what comes with that. So you can feel how you want to feel. He need to be glad that he out. You can sort out that other shit out later. Okay. So I don't know. But that's just what I was thinking. Okay. It was some other stuff, and I'm so mad that I do not have everything on the list of what all he ended up getting free of. I mean, not getting free of, but y'all know what I'm saying. What else he got? He had to stay away from Metro Atlanta. I think he has to put on certain events or something like that in the city, over there in Metro Atlanta. It's a few things that he had to do. Is it in this document? I don't see it. Anywho, it is what it is. The man is free. He's able to go do a little bit of what he wants, but not really. I'm sure it felt good for him to go home and be able to lay in his bed. But I guess congrats, I suppose, to Mr. Thug and being free. Okay. Good luck. Good luck.